Tonight on CTV News at 5.
With grocery prices increasing, it's only making things more and more difficult.
Grocery gauge. Maritimers brace for another bump in prices at the checkout.
I love what I do. I love everything about hair.
Rooted in resilience, the hair salon that refuses to sink.
This is really a historic moment for us. It's a lifelong goal. We've wanted to do this forever.
Bare beginnings. A new cub care sanctuary is coming to Hope for Wildlife.
And you might want to find your own cozy, warm den tonight as conditions turn cold and windy.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Katie Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us. First at 5 tonight, price pinch. A new food price forecast is raising alarms for 2026. Dalhousie University's report shows grocery bills could climb another 4 to 6%. And as CTV's Vanessa Wright reports, it's not just the supermarket. Restaurants are preparing to raise prices too. Vanessa.
Hey, Katie, that's right. And through this report, we now have a number on how much more people will pay for food in the new year.
Food will soon take up a bigger share of Canadian household budgets. Dalhousie University's latest report is projecting a 4 to 6% increase in food prices. Meat is the main driver of food inflation, up 7.2% this year. It's expected to rise another 5 to 7% next year. And it doesn't end there.
Pantry products at the center of the store, dry pasta, sauces, spices, nuts, coffee, those types of products, they're likely to become more expensive in 2026, unfortunately.
In total, the average family of 4 can expect to pay nearly $1,000 more for groceries.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, climate change has caused disruption in our food supply chains, especially the beef. And, sort of have to expect it.
It's definitely disappointing to hear. I mean, grocery prices have already been increasing quite a bit in general lately, and it's hard enough to keep food on the table as it is.
It's more expensive to buy it in a restaurant, so we wouldn't go out to a restaurant and order a steak anymore. In fact, we very rarely eat red meat anymore because chicken is a better price.
That reality is what has the restaurant industry worried.
If hardworking Canadians don't have money at the end of the month, discretionary spending to be able to spend in restaurants, that is where we start to see loss of shifts, restaurant closures, less hours, menu prices raising.
And rising food costs is just one battle they face.
Operating costs for our businesses has dramatically increased, not just around food. We're talking insurance 15%, labor 11%, and that's just this year. This has been an ongoing chronic issue for our operators since 2019.
While its impact will be felt nationwide, Charlebois says Maritimers will especially feel the pinch.
I'm not downplaying what's going on elsewhere in the country, but in the Atlantic, it's a hard market to service, given the fact that we don't produce a whole lot of food for ourselves.
Well, believe it or not, there are positive takeaways in the report. Some produce, like fruits and vegetables, have become slightly cheaper. But of course, Canadians will likely notice a jump in just about everything else. Katie?
It's unfortunate news. Thank you so much, Vanessa. CTV's Vanessa Wright for us in our Halifax newsroom this evening. That does bring us to tonight's web poll. We're asking, could you handle a 4 to 6% increase in your grocery bill? Your options are, yes, it wouldn't be an issue. I could make it work, but it would be tight. Or no, I can't afford groceries as it is. You can go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca to weigh in and to see our latest poll results. We're going to throw to Todd Battis now. I think you're going to have more on that report coming up on CTV News at 6, Todd.
Yeah, we've got a fairly long conversation with Sylvain. He's in Montreal today, but we talk about the situation in the Maritimes, and he's got a few more things to say about where you may want to shop in the grocery store. So that's just after 6:30. Katie, starting off the show, break out the woolies. Cold, windy conditions are on tap for the Maritimes. Municipal crews are preparing for frigid temperatures. This shelter in Halifax is at full capacity, housing 30 men overnight. It's possible they may be forced to turn away individuals. We'll tell you about that coming up at 6 o'clock. Point Lepreau nuclear power plant remains offline this evening. It was supposed to return to service this week after an almost 5-month shutdown, but a problem was found. It comes as New Brunswick's energy minister questions just how long the province has before it runs out of power. He spoke with CTV's Laura Brown. You'll hear from him at 6.
Good morning, everybody.
The Nova Scotia government wants to have police crack down on illegal cannabis sales. The Justice Minister has written to 13 Mi'kmaq chiefs asking them to help shut down on-reserve sales. The province says only the liquor corporation stores are allowed to sell cannabis. Details coming up in your newscast. Details now on this blast of Arctic weather. Kalen.
Yeah, it is a cold front that's coming across the Maritimes. As we get past that front, winds are becoming northwest, and they actually pick up strength tonight into tomorrow morning, drawing on that polar sourced air that's been pooled up through areas of Quebec and bringing it down to the Maritimes. So the type of cold that we're going to be getting into tonight, the type of wind chills we do typically get in our winter season here in the Maritimes, just usually a little bit later on, more towards the mid to late portion of winter. It's kind of an early taste of that deep winter cold. So taking a look at temperatures right now, that front is making its way across New Brunswick, already clearing northern and western parts of the province. And you can see temperatures there have already fallen several degrees below the freezing mark. Temperatures right around 0 for much of Prince Edward Island, the southeast New Brunswick right now, and in the range of around 0 to 5 degrees for Nova Scotia, but will be falling below 0 as that front moves through, and that happens this evening. Checking in on wind chill values, we've already got some wind chills making it feel down into the minus teens around northern and some western areas of New Brunswick. Overnight and early tomorrow morning, there's going to be some wind chill values region-wide, in a lot of cases making it feel into the minus 20s. So taking a look at the winds, there's a change in the wind directions the front comes through. It's just come down through Fredericton now, about to move in towards the Moncton area. Also starting to cross Prince Edward Island. You can tell there because the wind direction is changing, becoming north and northwest. Nova Scotia still in a southwest wind. Remember, the wind strength is going to be picking up as we move through tonight. And that does mean any lingering rain showers left in Nova Scotia as we make our way through this evening will be turning over to snow showers. And in some cases, there might be the potential of seeing some accumulation of up to around a few centimeters as that front moves through. A risk of some snow squalls for parts of the region tomorrow, including Cape Breton, the North Shore of Nova Scotia, and Kings County, Prince Edward Island, all underneath a snow squall watch. We also have wind warnings out for eastern PEI and Antigonish County and Cape Breton for tomorrow, gusts to 90 kilometers per hour, and a cold warning out for the northwest of New Brunswick. Katie.
Thank you so much, Kaylin. The IWK is celebrating a major gift that will shape the future of women's health research in the Maritimes today.
I feel very, very happy that I'm able to do this. I'm very happy that I'm able to give this gift, and I'm very happy for what it's able to do.
This amount of money is one thing, but it's the generosity of spirit to step up and say, I believe in that women need better research, and I believe in the IWK, and I believe in the foundation to be the messenger and the voice for that, and they've just given us wind under our wings.
The donation of $2 million comes from Dr. Margaret Olton, a pioneering researcher whose work over more than 3 decades helped ensure the safe delivery of thousands of babies at the IWK and the former Grace Maternity Hospital. Today's announcement highlighted how her contribution will fuel new research and improve care for women for years to come. IWK Health says this gift will support meaningful change both now and for future generations. Still ahead here on CTV News at 5, a contest to remind you about, and we also have this story.
I'm Ryan McDonald in Sydney, where tonight a small business owner is celebrating 25 years in operation that have included chronic flooding, COVID-19, and so many more challenges. Her story of survival is coming up.
Hi, it's Katie Kelly. The 62nd annual Christmas Daddies Telethon is happening December 6th on CTV. We're wrapping the studio in sparkle, smiles, and holiday cheer, helping maritime children since 1964. You don't want to miss this celebration. Welcome back. CTV and Clearwater want to help you spread some holiday cheer with the Festive Seafood Feast Contest. We're giving you a chance to send a taste of the East Coast to someone you care about. One lucky winner will be able to treat their special someone to 50 pounds of lobster. Clearwater will ship the crustacean care package anywhere in Canada. To enter, you can go to ctvatlantic.ca and scan the QR code on your screen right now for another chance. You can enter once per day until Saturday at 5 o'clock. What's better than a gift you don't have to shell out for? Good luck, everybody. Awesome. All right. A Sydney salon is marking a big milestone this month. Here's CTV Ryan McDonald with more.
Since December of 2000, Alma Head has been styling hair in the Sydney area.
And I have no idea where 25 years went. And you got to remember, Ryan, we're only 40, right? So started when I was 15.
That sense of humor has come in handy over the years. For much of her quarter-century in business, there has been major flooding in front of her front door each time there's been heavy rain. But nothing compared to the Thanksgiving flood of 2016, when Head had to rebuild her salon after enough water got inside that it caused $150,000 in uninsured damage.
So that put us back a pretty penny to try and reopen again. So it was like starting all over again, but we did it, and here we are. We're still here.
It takes a lot to have a business in Cape Breton, and she's thrived and survived.
Melanie Sampson is one of Alma Head's many loyal customers. She figures one of the keys to her friend's success is how much she has given back.
She does so much. She cuts hair for the homeless. She goes down to nursing homes to help out people. She's always lending a helping hand and never wants to take credit for it.
You know, like when the call center had closed, we had opened up for them because, and we didn't do that to get recognized. We did it because, you know, just you felt bad. There was, you know, once they didn't have no pay, Christmas is coming, kids have Christmas concerts. So it's like, bring your kids, bring whoever.
Like all salon owners, Head had to deal with distancing and mandated closures during the COVID-19 pandemic. She started out on her own, but now has 3 locations and 20 employees and has no plans on putting down the clippers anytime soon.
I love what I do. I love everything about hair. I love meeting new people. I love the community. So I find myself very blessed.
And after a quarter-century in business, she may have earned herself a new nickname, too, the unsinkable Alma Head. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
That's a great nickname. Congratulations on your milestone. Now, a piece of Nova Scotia will soon be shining brightly in Boston. A long-standing international holiday tradition continues tonight as a beautiful Nova Scotia white spruce will be lit in the Boston Common, kicking off the holiday season for many. The 13.7-meter tree came from Martins Brook in Lunenburg County. The tree was nominated by former homeowners Ronald and Claire Feener, who raised it from a seedling. Nova Scotia first sent a Christmas tree to Boston in 1971 as a thank you gesture for the city's unwavering support after the Halifax explosion. So you can catch that tonight.
I mean, it's no 50 pounds of lobster, but I guess it's okay.
I saw your eyes when I was promoting that contest. Please get to our website and enter before he steals it, baby.
I don't think I'm allowed to enter. And that would be like
You're not, but you could go get yourself
some
lobster.
Yeah, that will definitely happen at some point. Cold conditions across the Maritimes today, but only getting colder as we move through tonight into tomorrow. This little guy here squirreling away, maybe a few more snacks for the winter season ahead. Had a little bit of sunshine there around the Sydney area. We're going to have more of the forecast coming up after the break.
It looks like Sable Island has a silly visitor back for the holidays. Parks Canada staff say they were walking the beach when they spotted a familiar face, Elf on the Shelf, wrapped in a clump of seaweed. This is the 4th year in a row the mischievous elf has somehow made its way onto the remote island. Staff say they'll be keeping an eye out because the elf usually gets up to plenty of trouble once it arrives.
Well, that's good.
That's good, eh?
I can't wait to see some more pictures of that around the island. Coming up. Hopefully it won't be too stormy out there.
Yes.
We got a strong weather system moving in today. It's a cold front, and this one, Katie, is certainly going to live up to that name. Let's take a look at our sunrise and sunset times. And for that, we're going to go to Seaforth, Nova Scotia. You can see some cloudy skies there. You can hear the winds a little bit, but the winds across the Maritimes are really going to be picking up as we move through tonight into tomorrow, and that's going to be producing that wind chill that we've already talked a little bit about. Now, barometric pressure is once again falling in the region at the approach of this cold front, and out ahead of it, there is a mixture of both some snow and some rain showers. That, where it is still some rain showers, that includes parts of Prince Edward Island, areas of Nova Scotia, will be turning over to a period of snow showers as temperatures come down this evening. And then during the overnight and into Friday, there's a few spots in the region that will be at risk of some snow squalls. Taking a look at things on radar right now, there's that precipitation that I mentioned running out ahead of that front, that mixture of greens and blues, and it's the back edge of those greens, those rain showers, that's turning over to blues. It's showing the progress of that colder air moving into and across the Maritimes. There are still spots of Nova Scotia sitting a few degrees above the freezing mark. That is not going to be lasting long, though, into this evening. Be careful about any wet or slushy surfaces turning icy as we make our way through the night. So there's the front, and it continues to move past the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia, I'd say by around 9-10 this evening. And then after that, into the overnight hours, that colder air is moving in and increasingly gusty northwest winds. And this is when we get into a risk of some snow squalls. Now, I'd say there's a low to moderate risk of snow squalls off the Bay of Fundy for areas around the Minas Basin, the Annapolis Valley, and parts of the southwestern coastline of Nova Scotia. But a higher risk of snow squalls developing for eastern areas of Prince Edward Island, parts of the North Shore of Nova Scotia, especially Antigonish County, and in Inverness and Victoria counties in Cape Breton. Just a reminder of what a snow squall is. It is a narrow band of snow that can become very intense, enough that if you're in one, it can actually look like you're in the middle of a snowstorm, but they're narrow bands, so they're quite localized by their nature. And as we move into the start of the day for Friday, you can see some of the banding coming in off the Gulf of St. Lawrence to the Northumberland Strait, so again around the east of PEI, and around the North Shore of Nova Scotia, as well as into areas of Cape Breton. So if you're driving through those areas, be careful for tomorrow. You get into one of those snow squalls, your visibility is going to come down. You could run into some snow-covered roads. And then for Friday afternoon, the squall should begin to diminish a little bit, though I would hold on to a risk of snow squalls, at least for Cape Breton, until Friday evening. The risk, basically, of the snow squalls coming to an end as the winds begin to ease up a little bit, and that'll improve the wind chill. I mean, it's still cold tomorrow afternoon, but it'll improve the wind chill values for what we're expecting tonight. And for tonight, as we take a look at temperature and wind chill comparison across the Maritimes, you can see that a lot of those wind chills are expected to get down and make it feel into the -20s by the overnight hours and the start of the day on Friday. The winds themselves pick up from the northwest into tomorrow morning. There'll be some fairly widespread gusts, 40 to 70 kilometers per hour, up to 90, though, for those areas underneath wind warnings. That includes eastern PEI, Antigonish County, and parts of Cape Breton. The low temperatures for tonight around the Maritimes, well down into the -teens. Few -20s may be present up around the northwest and some western areas of New Brunswick. And highs for tomorrow in New Brunswick, -10 to -7 for most communities, around -6 for Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island, -4 to -7 for Nova Scotia. Let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is 10-year-old Avery. And Avery has sent us a drawing of a rainbow appearing as a round of showers moves through. Weather watchers can come in to CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Katie.
Thank you. Coming up next, hope for Cubs.
Hi, I'm Hope Swinimer in Seaforth, Nova Scotia. You're at Hope for Wildlife, and we've just received some amazingly good news that we want to share with you coming right up.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Inappropriate Christmas decor. Tell us about that tomorrow at 6.
And we're giving away $20,000 for the holidays. Moves 20K holiday. Keyword at 6 a.m.
Researchers have confirmed the first sighting this season of a North Atlantic right whale and its new calf. The North Atlantic right whale group monitoring the whales says the pair were detected visually with acoustic gear this past weekend. At one point, they were seen off the coast of South Carolina. The group's most recent population estimate shows a small increase in the population to 384 whales. The mom's name? Champagne. She's 17 years old, and this is her second documented calf. Well, Hope for Wildlife is setting up for tiny new arrivals. The Nova Scotia Rescue Centre has been given permission to start working on a special bear cub sanctuary, giving orphaned and injured cubs a safe place to grow, heal, and eventually return to the wild. CTV's Mike Lamb met with Hope Swinimer, who reveals it's a dream come true.
We have 2 bobcats. They came in 2 days in a row. We have some very good news we'd like to share with everybody. It's something we've been working towards for over 20 years now. So we've finally been granted permission to start the process of being able to rehabilitate black bear cubs. We've been putting in a lot of applications over the years. We've always had the goal of being able to rehab, all the species of wildlife in Nova Scotia. And I mean, if you look back 15 years ago, we weren't allowed to do bobcat, and we finally got permission to do them. And same as the white-tailed deer, when we started rehab, we didn't have them on our permit. So everything takes time and effort, and it's really nice to see that we're making that step forward to get the black bear cubs added to our permit. So we got lots of work ahead of us. We've been able to secure a piece of land. It's 100 acres up in Cape Breton, so far away from people and the sounds of humans and that kind of thing. So it'll be an excellent location to do our work. And then we will start blazing the trail. We'll start doing all that detailed work of etching out exactly what we want to build. And DNR will be with us every step of the way, approving every step, everything from the gauge of the wire we use to how to be able to feed them through chutes so they have very little human contact while they're with us, recovering and growing up. So all of those things will be carefully thought out, and hopefully we'll be able to start building in the spring. A lot of people don't realize that in Nova Scotia, we only have black bears. So they're quite easy to learn how to live with once you study them and learn about them. So I can see where this will be a great journey and a great opportunity. It really is a dream come true. We've been trying to get this to happen for a long, long time, and perseverance pays off, and we're incredibly happy to be on this journey to be able to get the black bear cubs in Nova Scotia, give them the medical care they need, and get them back out to the wild.
Hope for Wildlife does such a great job, and this will be a great addition.
They do, and they got a great plan for those cubs. Speaking of plans, if you're planning for late tonight, tomorrow morning, plan to dress warm because it is going to be turning very cold across the Maritimes, as I've talked about. Got more detail on the risk of snow squalls and the wind chill values coming up at 6.
Excellent. And join Kaylin and I back here at 6. I'll have Henman. See you soon.